On today's webinar titled Adding Additional Revenue with a Subscription-Based Model to Your Consulting Practice. This video is ideally for an established business consultant or coach who is interested in expanding their business or interested in exploring how a subscription model can help their practice or firm. My name is Jodie Shaw. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for the Alternative Board. For the past 25 years or so, I've been heavily involved in marketing and leading professional services firms. I was the CEO of the world's largest coaching company. I ran an advertising agency, recruitment firm, and training company. And I share that with you because I have intimate knowledge of what it takes to market and lead a professional service firm. If you haven't detected already, I'm an Australian. I've been living in the US for the past 15 years, and I currently reside in beautiful Colorado. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see that I've shared my LinkedIn address, and I'm always happy to accept new connection requests. But let's leap straight in. What are the challenges facing the consulting industry today? So the first one that often springs to mind is economic uncertainty. I read in the press recently that over 50% of business leaders are uncertain about what the future holds in the next couple of years from an economy point of view. When that happens, a lot of business owners delay making decisions. Oftentimes they'll tighten their belts, and oftentimes the first thing to go on the ledger is outsource fees or consultancy fees. In addition to not awarding as many consulting projects, there's often a delay in decision-making when it comes to accepting those ones, longer bid wait times. In addition, increased competition. So I'm not just talking about additional consultants or coaches in your backyard. I'm talking about the global economy. A lot of business owners these days find it very easy to pass out parts of projects with outsourced vendors who can often do it cheaper and sometimes faster than we can. In addition, scope creep. That's something that's very common in the consulting industry, where you place a bid based on a brief, and halfway through the project there was omissions or additional things that are added to the project. In addition to project creep, something that's very common inside the consulting industry is travel. So whether it's behind the wheel of your car or in an aeroplane, a lot of that time is unbillable or cannot be billed at full rate. So this is what a typical service-based business looks like. It starts off with a lot of driving sales and marketing activity to fuel project bids. And then once you're winning more business, you have a cap, meaning when you're exchanging time for money, you can't necessarily add more time. It's our only limited resource. So you hit your cap. And once you actually start completing those projects, there becomes more stress on you financially, which can affect your mindset. And then the process has to start again with more business development activity. In the consulting industry, it's called that feast or famine, or that seesaw effect, where you win the business, you service the business, and then you have to win more business, service the business. A subscription-based model helps even out those peaks and valleys in a billable time model like consulting. So the subscription economy has had a lot of attention in the press recently. This is a headline from Forbes from March last year, which shows that particular part of the a business model has actually grown by 300% in the last 7 years. The more common brands that use subscription-based modelling are in the consumer side, such as Netflix, Amazon Prime, Dollar Shave Club. There's one called BarkBox, which delivers a treat and a toy to your dog each month. There's makeup, etc. But it is also creeping in the service-based economy as well. SPA research showed that in managed service revenue, the biggest increase over the past year has actually come from those firms and companies that added subscription services. Neil Patel, who is a thought leader and best-selling author, says that subscription models help keep the relationship with the customer a lot longer. And this particular benchmark study from the Professional Services Maturity Benchmark showed that more and more service providers are exploring subscription-based models, hoping that will keep clients longer and create predictable revenue streams. And lastly, this gentleman here actually wrote the book on subscription models, and he says, ready or not, excited or terrified, you need to adapt to the subscription economy or risk being left behind. Now, TAB, or the Alternative Board, is actually a subscription-based model for the professional services industry. The history of TAB started in 1990 with our founder and executive chairman, Alan Fishman. He reflected on his career and noticed one of the benefits that he had available to him was a board of advisors or a board of directors. He noticed that a small to medium-sized business owner doesn't necessarily have a similar resource. So he created TAB to serve this gap in the market where business owners and CEOs and leaders of companies have a support system to turn to for advice on issues, strategies, or opportunities. I've actually listed some of the books that Alan has written, which you'll find on Amazon. He's written books from family business to aligning a workplace to strategic planning, etc. So a little bit about our history. We've been, as I mentioned, around for 30 years. We're now in 21 countries. We've served about 25,000 businesses and currently have over 4,000 members. So the TAB model at its very core is the Business Owner Advisory Meeting or Peer Advisory Board. From that, additional revenue can be made from coaching, consulting, and training, and there are other networking available to you as being a trusted advisor with that board. So the TAB board works by a monthly meeting that takes 4 hours. Each member has the ability to present an issue. They also update on where their business is since their last board meeting. The fellow board members will ask clarifying questions from that particular member on their issue, and they also offer advice, feedback, and suggestions from real-world experience. The member then commits to an action. The end of the meeting is best takeaway. And you'll notice here that the facilitator or coach doesn't have to be an expert in every field. They can lead heavily on the board to present the ideas and strategies that the business owner adopts. In addition to membership, each TAB board member gets a one-on-one coaching session. And essentially what that looks like is covering what the commitment was made from the board meeting. We also have a proprietary tool called TAB's Business Builders Blueprint, which takes people through goal setting, action plans, etc. We also help the member identify and prepare a topic for the next board meeting. There are multiple revenue streams that our TAB business owners make through TAB. The first is obviously the core, which is TAB board membership, which I just went through. But in addition to that, we also have a proprietary process called StratPro. It's a strategic planning and implementation process, which is conducted through workshops conducted at the business owner's business. Also, we do get quite a lot of additional consulting through the TAB and StratPro opportunities. And I'm going to share some of those revenue numbers with you shortly. We also have a sister company called for the Allen Training Centres. A lot of our TAB business owners are also licensees of these particular products. And it's a blended management development training system with executive coaching. And what I mean by blended, it combines virtual or live conducted workshops along with e-learning and executive coaching. In addition, we also use the DISC profiling tool as a communication method through board members. And a lot of our board members like the tool so much that they like to bring it in-house as a recruitment and training tool for their existing team members. And a lot of our TBOs actually conduct those workshops and do that work with our members. So what does the revenue look like in a TAB business? We're governed as a franchise by the Federal Trade Commission, which means that we have to submit a franchise disclosure document, which takes a helicopter view of what goes on in our franchise. These numbers are from our 2019 franchise disclosure document and represent the top third of our TAB business owners. You'll see here the revenue from the consulting area is, from 130,000 upwards to $615,000. In addition to that, not all of our TAB business owners actually do consulting, but those that do actually have revenues ranging from $72,000 to $435,000 a year. And those combined consulting and subscription-based models is the last figure that you see on that page. Is that something that you're interested in adding to your existing consulting business? So let's have a look at TAB versus consulting. So consulting stats, and I got this from the Professional and Technical Consultants Association, which showed that the sales cycle lead to contract sign was about 86 days, that about 50% of bids are actually won. The average project length is just over 2 years, and the average rate per hour for non-legal consulting is about $162 per hour. Now, TAB is not a bill by the hour model. It is a monthly subscription. But when we compare the two stats, the average membership length is 4.7 years. 30% of our members come through referrals, which means that we get a lot of organic growth once you have 1 or 2 boards set up. One board of 8 members without travel time is about 15 service hours. So depending on what your membership rate looks like, at $650, the hourly rate is about $347. At $950 per month, it's about $507 an hour. So a lot more profitable than the typical consulting arrangement. So who are we looking for? We're looking for someone who is a great communicator. They're a natural connector and very curious about businesses and helping others. They have a proven consultative selling ability, business leadership experience, have a can-do attitude. They're positive-minded, hardworking and hungry, and will be a great brand ambassador. What you get is that you'll get exclusive TAB brand rights in a protected territory for 10 years. We'll provide you with a targeted list of the people who are most likely to buy TAB services in your particular territory. Be about between 2,000 and 3,000 names. You'll have comprehensive and world-class training and certification, and that's ongoing. We also provide a proven marketing and sales methodology. You'll have access to our proprietary tools, Business Builders Blueprint I mentioned. We also have a social platform, networking platform called TAB Connect. We'll help you with your grand opening campaign coordination. We do all the billing, payment processing and collections on TAB-related income. You'll get ongoing support and coaching through a board of peers, weekly calls, conferences, a learning management system to sharpen your saw, and you'll also be part of a great global community. So this particular video, if you've been invited to it, has an exclusive offer, which is a no franchise fee. So you can see here that ordinarily, the franchise fee is $44,000. For people who've been invited to view this video, we're waiving that fee. And so the total investment, including your certification, marketing fee to get you set up on your CRM and your lists and your launch campaign, and having someone in the field with you to help with your initial setting up your boards, various other little fees there, that you can see that the total investment is $40,000. So what are the next steps? So ultimately, we're choosing someone who is going to be a great brand ambassador, someone who has an existing consulting business who's interested in adding TAB services and potentially offering them to their existing clientele or previous clientele. What the next steps would be to you to write to tabfran@thealternativeboard.com with the subject line no franchise fee. Include a copy of your resume or link to your LinkedIn profile, along with 3 times that you're available to speak via phone. I look forward to potentially meeting with you in the near future, and have a wonderful day.